Let's see on what page you are.
On what page? We're on. Yeah, we're in Damali right now.
Alright, someone give me a callback on what happened last session. Anyone is fine.
Okay, so after getting stuck in that maze, we finally got our way through and found that crazy necrophiliac of a magician. Man, he let us go, apparently, with some treasures, because he doesn't care for them, because he's really powerful, so they're probably just trinkets in his eyes. So, we came back to Damale, and we're doing some stuff, basically preparing to go back up north and find the Manticore. And at this moment, we are heading to the trying to find a magic shop. We're not actually at one yet or anything, but that's where we're headed next. And Wrath, also, I'm keeping an eye out for any buildings that have a comb sign, like the one I saw in Amita but forgot about.
Oh yeah, that sign.
Yeah. So I'm not particularly looking. I'm just keeping an eye open for that. Otherwise, we're looking to go into a magic store.
Okay. Well, you're looking around in this rather large city.
And we're asking a couple people, like, hey, is there a magic shop around?
Well, of course there's a magic shop around. Is the general sense as you get, and you get a couple of directions, all conflicting, so probably multiple shops.
Okay.
You find one, enter it. It's a relatively small shop in width, but it's extremely long to the back.
Okay.
And there is someone standing behind some sort of counter. Kind of a makeshift counter, more it floats in the air. And it follows him and it does whatever he wishes it to do.
Okay. Before we keep going, Wrath, what are you gonna do about the trigger word for the cloak? Because remember the DM says that he's supposed to know it after...
Yeah, I find that to be too easy. I find that the spell itself, especially since it's a ritual spell, too easy to immediately.
No, it's not even
know
identify.
everything.
It's not the identify spell. It's just attuning with it. If you attune with it, you know the word.
I find it too easy. If it was like an item that could speak to you, I could make a conversation out of it that you'd get it from the item itself. But a simple attunement, sitting around with it for 1 hour and then suddenly the word pops up in your head, it seems too easy for me.
No, magic, but whatever.
Yeah. Different types of magic, I guess.
Okay.
So you'll have to find that one out in a different way, I guess.
Alright, so I go up to the storekeep. And say we're looking to buy some items.
It's a middle-aged man, he bows. Good, customers. What is it that you are looking for?
Well, it depends on what you have. We're looking for a bag of holding, something that boosts defense, and something that increases dexterity.
Boosting defense. What type of defense?
There's only one type of defense that I'm aware of in this game, armor class.
So you are... what... Yeah... We have defense against multiple types of things.
Okay. I'm talking about, increasing one's armor.
The effectiveness of one's armor, or just a trinket or something.
Mm-hmm.
That'll help you get missed more often.
More or less.
Or that deflects some. I have a couple of such items. You were also looking for... What was it again? Dexterity?
Something that increases one's dexterity. Similar to how an ogre's gauntlets increase one's strength.
Ah! Those things, yes. How do you wish to have it?
What would be the, well, what do you have? Do you have lots of options, or just a few?
I have a couple of options, but most of my most of these sorts of items I make,
I see.
so it fits the wearer.
Well,
I can get you some basic things, but those are weaker,
I
so to
see.
say.
Well, maybe something along the lines of a bracelet that could be worn under armor or something like that. Maybe a soft bracer.
Interesting. Yeah, that should be fine, I guess. How strong do you wish the enchantment to be?
I would say comparable to the same effect as the ogre gauntlets, if possible. I'm assuming money would be the deciding factor in it.
These ogre gauntlets you speak of, I haven't heard of them.
Oh, well. I don't know how to put this in game terms.
Well, you better find out soon.
Because it's like in game terms, the ogre gauntlets make them put your strength at 19. So I'm asking for something that puts your dexterity at basically 18, 19, that area.
Yeah. So how are you going to ask him how to do that?
Heck if I know, just something that.
Figure it out.
How do I say something in game terms that quantifies stats?
I'd like to become more nimble.
That's what I basically said. Increases dexterity. I don't know how else to put it. Low, medium, high? I don't know.
I mean, if you ask me to increase your dexterity, I'd say wear weaker or wear less weighing armor.
That does literally nothing for me though, because I could be buck naked and my dexterity's the same.
That's true.
So, where the hell are those gauntlets?
Gauntlets of ogre power, I'm pretty sure is what they're called. They're uncommon items. I know because I checked them last week.
Looking for them. G then, I guess?
It'd be under G, I'd imagine.
Gauntlets of ogre power.
Ogre power, yeah. So I'd like my dexterity to be higher than 8.
Yeah.
Well, I would like my strength to be higher than 8 too, but we can't all get what we want, can we?
Well, if you get gauntlets of ogre power, you could make it 19.
Yeah, but it's temp.
He
No, as long as you wear them, you have it.
Oh,
he
really?
looks at you and he says, "There are multiple ways to increase one's natural abilities.
Mm-hmm.
Magical items are one of them, but if you increase an ability too much, on the other hand, you will find a sort of balancing act. The more powerful the item becomes, the more balancing it becomes as well. You catch my drift.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So, while I can make rather powerful items, they also have rather big drawbacks.
All
It
right.
is something that we have not been able to fix. A problem we were having as magic makers since 100 years now, after the war.
Okay, so what kind of drawbacks are we talking about?
And it depends on the item. Most of the time it means decreasing something else. Becoming more nimble sometimes decreases strength. That sort of thing, it can vary widely.
That could be problematic.
So, smaller magical items can be made. If you do not want a high drawback, I suggest a smaller item and one that charges up. So it cannot be used permanently.
Okay.
Batteries not
But-
included.
So therein lies the problem if it's going to be a charge instead of a permanent. How would such a charge be activated? Like, how long would it take to activate?
Yet again, that depends entirely on the item. Stronger items need longer charges. And there are different types of charges as well. Some more useful for some things. Like items that can only be used a certain amount of times, and after that they lose their powers. Or items that recharge their powers every so often.
Okay. Well,
I'll give you a simple example.
Mm-hmm.
He goes up somewhere in the back of his store and comes back with a small wand. This is a wand which allows the user to conjure up a spell similar to magic missile. This wand has around 30 to 50 charges, depending. So you can use it 30 to 50 times. After that, it becomes nothing more than a stick.
Okay.
What would be the cost of that wand?
This wand here. Interested, Ari?
No, just for comparison's sake.
Ah. Well, the amount of charges on this wand, as I said, it varies between 30 and 50, so it makes it a low mid-ranged type of weapon or object, which of course changes its pricing, etc. Ones like these, I sold one a couple of days ago for 5 platinum.
That's
Okay,
it?
thank you.
50 gold? 50 gold total? Would be
Something like these, though that one was weaker.
Okay.
30 to 50 charges?
Alright,
This wand itself is not really for sale since it's technically already sold, but it was a little bit more expensive, as you might expect.
so you have no items, at least none that you would have made yourself, that increase dexterity without, and having it being permanent?
No.
Okay.
Well, not without drawbacks.
Well, what type of drawbacks? Depending on the drawbacks, I may consider buying it.
I have currently in my possession one item. It's a small ring. He puts the wand back where it belonged while he's talking, grabbing a small ring. Inside the small ring you can see a green, an emerald, I think. Yeah, emeralds are green.
Mm-hmm.
Like a small emerald on the top, which shines brightly. This is what I was talking about. He holds it in the light so everybody can see. This thing makes you faster, so to say. It makes you... Some say it gives you sort of a sixth sense, which makes you able to concentrate more on a target or just get out of the way right in time. The drawback of this little thing is not too horrible, but it's also not very great. The sixth sense gets in the way with, well, to put it bluntly, sleeping.
Okay,
keeps you awake.
so if I took off the ring, for example, I could sleep normally?
I haven't tried it myself, so I wouldn't be able to tell you if the magic stays for a long period of time, or if it's immediately gone.
Does this require attunement?
It is not a speaking weapon of such sorts. It's just a ring you put on, so it doesn't require attunement. You put it on and it works. You take it off and it might work.
Did you use Identify on it? Just out of curiosity, because things that don't require attunement have no actual bond to the person that wears them. So it shouldn't. So long as I wear the ring, the effect should last, meaning that I just can't wear it while I'm sleeping. If it required attunement, then I could see that there could be an issue there. Because otherwise there's no bond. I mean, the only way for it to actually do that would be if it was cursed, but even then it should require attunement. That's how the magic works to my understanding. My very limited understanding.
That is how magic used to work, yes.
Ah, so you're changing all the rules.
Some of it, yes. And not even for that long of a time, but guess what? You're in the middle of that period.
Mm-hmm. Well, seeing as it has, well, you said it does have effects on sleeping, but you're not exactly sure to what extent or how long it will last, I assume that would bring down the price.
No. The price is not built by the... the price is built on the level of enchantment that it's put on the item. The downsides do not lower a price. Usually, at least. I have only lowered the price on an item once. Because of the downside.
I see.
And I made that item unable to be sold.
So, Wrath, how much, like, does this even do? Because I don't want to buy something and not know, like, how much it actually helps me.
In game terms,
yeah,
this ring gives you a +4 to dexterity.
Okay. And this is a +4 in the modifier or +4 in the stat?
Stat.
Okay. But
yeah, the sleeping part. And the sleeping part is a little bit iffy.
So, like, iffy as in I'd have no idea, or iffy as in like
Iffy as in you have no idea as a character, nor does the guy who is the store, the salesman. He doesn't know it either. It can be all sorts of things. It can be extremely problematic or a little bit less problematic, but still not great.
How much?
I'm looking if I can see a general price range.
It's worse than the Gauntlets of Power, or the Gauntlets of Ogre Power, because it's less and has a demerit, so I imagine it would be less than an uncommon item, honestly. Or at least,
but
the prices are more in your world, so at least, probably an uncommon item.
Magic changed a lot. Why doesn't it just give, like a...
Price range?
Yeah, price range. I can't find it.
It's at the beginning of all the weapons and stuff, I'm pretty sure.
There.
Yep.
Probably. Etc. Words.
Item uncommon goes from 100 to 500 gold.
What page?
On page
PDF?
On the PDF 135.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, then it would be the high end of uncommon.
So, exactly 500? You're gonna do something nice.
I'm going to let the dice decide.
Roll roll a d400 and then add 100 to that.
Yeah.
So 100 plus a d400 or something like that. I don't know.
That's it.
Okay, 426. Alright. I'll keep that in mind. We're also looking for a bag of holding.
Bags of holding, yes. I take it that you know how they are made
No.
and how they use. How they
I-
are used.
I understand the basic stuff, which is that you can't put anything that is similar in like making another dimensional area, otherwise they'll explode. I know that you'd have to. It can only hold about 500 pounds worth of stuff, otherwise it will explode. I know that you have to. You think about what you want, and it'll appear in your hand. That type of thing. That's the basic usage. I don't know how they're made though.
The magic in itself isn't that awfully difficult. The difficulty is in containing it correctly and the items or the type of stuff you need to make the bag itself.
Mm-hmm.
Those up to cost. You are correct in most of the things telling you that thinking about the item will make it appear if you are the owner.
Mm-hmm.
Putting a bag of holding into another bag of holding does some weird stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That is also correct. You cannot fit anything inside the bag of holding that doesn't fit through the normal opening.
Okay. So
even
long as
if it would technically fit inside, if you can't get it through the opening, it won't fit.
right, but so for example, that would if we could fit something that's like, let's just say hypothetically it's like 10 feet wide but only like a foot long, that would still fit in just fine because we can go through lengthwise.
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure.
As long as the whole of the bag itself, as long as it can fit through there, it'll fit.
Okay.
That's what she said.
Put the long rod in the hole.
You shouldn't put anything living inside of it, because it won't be living for long. Losing a bag of holding. Yeah, don't put a bag of holding inside out.
Okay.
It
It'll cause
really
a
does
spatial
some,
disruption.
yeah, it does some weird stuff. You don't want to be anywhere near it when that happens. We sell bags of holdings based on the size of the opening.
Okay. Does the
So-
actual amount of size that it can carry, or its actual carry, increase at all, or are they all the same, aside from the opening?
Aside from the opening, most of it is indeed the same carry capacity. It's just more useful. Since you could put more different types of things in there.
Okay.
So we have a couple of sizes, so to say. And he grabs 5 bags of holding. One is about the size of a grape. You could put coins in there.
Okay.
Something like that size. Then you have something more the size of a tennis ball.
Okay.
Then you get something the size of a medium-sized lemon. Or melon. So kind of bigger. And the other 3 are just the sizes in between those.
Wait, so how large is the biggest one?
Decent-sized melon.
Okay, so it's like an actual
Watermelon?
bag.
Yeah, it's more of a bag instead of a pouch of holding.
Right. How much is the biggest one? The one that would... Yeah.
Yeah, the biggest one is a rare to very rare item.
Seriously?
You
Man,
could
you're making
fit
this
a
difficult.
lot in there. You could fit a lot in there.
Up in the difficulty of the game, man.
The smallest one is a low-end uncommon. Then the 2 after that are uncommon, mid, and high, and the final one are rare. And then you get 1 to rare, mid-ranged rare, and the final one is high-end rare to low-end very rare.
Okay, how much is the second biggest one?
Second biggest one is rare, so to
Right.
say. So it comes around 3k. Gold.
Jeez, that's almost all our gold. And the one below that?
The one below that is around 1k gold. And
Okay.
after that, you will have...
How big is the opening for that one?
500. That's the third largest. So you'd be talking about the tennis ball.
Oh, jeez, that's not worth it at all. We're not gonna get like hardly anything in there. I want to carry heavy stuff. That's the whole point. Why on earth would we carry little tiny things in there?
Mostly because you're now clanking around with a crap ton of gold.
No, we won't, because we'll be spending it all in the bag. Okay.
Let's not just go.
Then I guess we'll look at the rings that, or the items that increase armor class.
Okay.
So in which one are you interested? That's basically it.
In which one? What?
What type of ring would you be interested in? Would you be interested in the ring that he showed you? Or would you be interested in a different type of...
I'm talking about armor class now, not the dex.
Oh yeah, armor class. He has a couple of different items that defend you more against different sort of attacks. So items that magically guard you against arrows or against ranged weapons, against melee weapons. Specific types of melee weapons even.
So they give a specific AC bonus?
To one specific thing or multiple specific things.
But no.
Those would be the cheaper ones and without a real drawback. And if you go to like a total armor class plus, then it becomes more expensive. And if you go past a certain point, it will not only become more expensive but also dangerous.
Do we have any idea what that certain point is? Can we ask the...
that's a rare thing. How much is rare again? Rare is expensive.
501 to 5k.
Does he have any rings of protection? It's +1 to AC and +1 to saving throws.
That would be considered as an uncommon?
No, it's a rare.
It's a rare. Wow. It's a total defense, so he could make one. It would have a small drawback.
Does he have any idea what it would be and the cost?
Depends how well it works. If you give him a certain range in which you want it to be, like a certain price range, he can adjust his spell to read it. And then it's... see how the magic turns out.
Okay, so +4 will give me 12, that'll give me a plus. I'll get up from a -1 modifier to a +1 modifier, but I'll have trouble sleeping. So I really have no. It's really it's absolute crapshoot in terms of like knowing exactly what the demerits will be. Yeah.
Yeah, there are so many different types, but if you keep your
Has he cast
item specified, then the drawbacks get less likely to happen.
Okay. Has he cast Identify on this ring? Just out of curiosity.
He doesn't have to.
What do you mean doesn't have to?
It's his creation.
Oh, okay. So even he's not aware of it. Well then,
he hasn't used it.
Just because you make something doesn't mean you know. Yeah, just because you make something.
Yep.
Yeah, I was like, just because you make something doesn't mean you know all its intricacies. It doesn't. Like, you make a paper airplane, but you don't know why it why it kind of, you know, it goes the way it does what it does. Why it basically flies or glides.
When you're dealing with magic, though, it's just like, okay, whatever, I guess.
I mean, it's not inherent, and I would think that Identify would, as its magic base, would be able to find even more information about an item than possibly even the person that created the item, but not necessarily. But anyway, just out of curiosity, let's just say that I have Yuma cast Identify on it to see if there's any additional information, especially on the demerit.
Well, you will find most of the information that he already told you since he is the creator. You might piss him off a little bit. Like, you don't trust him.
I trust that there's a demerit. Since he hasn't cast Identify, I might find out more information.
You might. You don't know.
Yeah, we don't know. I mean, if it pisses him off, I just won't, and he does something bad, I just won't buy it. So yeah, she casts Identify. Is there any additional information?
Does she, Yuma?
Yeah.
Roll a d20.
Is this straight up?
Yep.
Oh.
No additional information.
Okay, well, I'm not at all convinced in buying it. At least not at this point. Gold's too precious. We don't have a ton. And there's other things that I want to do with my gold. So unless you guys have something you want to buy.
This is to... This is a ring that'll boost your AC, right?
Yes.
And they're different kinds?
What do you mean?
Like, different rings that are boosted by different amounts?
Yeah, that could be made.
What does he have on hand?
He basically has this one on hand that has the drawback. He has a couple of more.
He's talking about AC,
rings.
not dexterity. Just throwing that out there.
Right.
I mean, he has a couple of items which have specific bonuses.
So the ones that boost AC.
Yeah, but it boosts AC
Like-
in a specific point. So
Do
it
you want-
boosts your AC against arrows. Something more along those lines.
You can only have one at a time, though?
No, they don't. You don't attune to them.
How much is the, I don't know, do you have like a ring that, for example, is kind of like a ring of protection, but does like a +1 for a saving throw?
So that's a +1 to the AC saving throw?
No, just saving throws in general. So, not AC, so maybe like, for example, dexterity saving throws.
Yeah, you would have a couple of like 2 items which gives you a +1 in dexterity saving throws. Depending on what you want. If it's permanent, then it'll be more costing. But
So,
you can
for
also have
example,
one
you
that's-
could
has
have
a couple
one...
of charges or recharges every whatever.
Okay, so the one that charges and recharges, would that automatically activate when a dexterity saving throw comes along? How would that work?
I think you consciously tell the ring to do it, but it's like a split-second thing.
Okay, so...
So you can basically tell me, alright, I'll use 1 charge now.
Okay, but does
Something along
it
those
actually
lines.
use like one of my things, like an action, bonus action, or reaction?
Probably not.
Okay, so if it doesn't use specifically a reaction to do it, and I can just say
It happens.
I use it, but I have to use it like before the roll, for example. Then
Yeah, or before damage is calculated. I say you're hit.
well, you say there's the saving. Oh, before the before you say whether or not I succeeded.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's like you
Then-
think you may have succeeded or may not have succeeded, and you're like, alright, try it.
Yeah. So what's the highest plus bonus one that he has? Just out
With
of curiosity.
charges?
With charges.
+2.
+2, and does that have any drawbacks? And does
The
it recharge?
charges- Yeah, the charges are its drawback.
How long does it take
It has
to
2
recharge?
charges and no recharges?
It has no that one has no recharges, and it has an X amount of charges.
Okay. The +1, does that have recharges?
It does.
Okay, how much does that run for?
The +1 is a high-end uncommon. He comes to you. He shows you the ring. It has a red ruby inside of it. He shows you the ring. He says, if you put this sucker in direct sunlight, it doesn't matter if it's on your hand, on the top of your head, whatever. If it is in direct sunlight, it'll recharge.
Okay.
It has 7 charges total,
Okay.
and with an action, it uses 2 of it.
What do you mean with an action?
Okay. If you choose to use it,
If
it'll
you choose to
use up 2
use
out
it,
of the 7?
it'll use 2 of the charges.
Okay.
It recharges 1 charge every 10 to 15 minutes in the sun.
Okay. And this is only good for dexterity, basically dexterity saving throws.
Yes.
And
Oh, I don't need it.
Exactly how much is it? And there's no drawbacks. Exactly how much is it?
There are indeed no drawbacks. The total cost for the is 384.
384. Okay. Put that to the side and let my friends finish figuring out what they want.
Okay.
Yuma, you're not getting anything?
I don't know. I don't.
You constantly stay. You usually stay at range, so maybe doing something for ranged attacks.
Protection. So it would boost my AC against arrows. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's probably the best thing I would be able to get. Alright, Mr. DM.
So like
So-
plus 1 AC or plus. What are you looking for exactly?
Again, the one that'll protect me is also a ring.
Sure.
Could be a ring.
What are its other forms?
He has a funny looking hat. It's like a Robin Hood, that sort of hat with like a feather pointing out of it.
Don't you
Sure
have?
fits my barness.
Don't you have the cloth that automatically? Or do you have? What do you have? What's your other trinket?
Pipe and a glass orb.
Oh, okay, you don't have the one. Okay, yeah. So you could totally get that. So it gives like what plus 1 AC versus ranged attacks, or
Yep.
arrow specifically.
Ranged,
Okay, so even if it was,
Okay.
for example, a ranged spell.
but no magical
Oh,
ranged.
so okay. Really?
So it's like javelins thrown to the face, axes thrown to the face, daggers thrown to the face, arrows, bolts, pebbles. Yeah, that's about it. I mean, a giant rock to your face, yeah. The little head won't stop that.
Okay. And there's only one type that'll do this.
No, he has the funny looking hat. He has... It's like a sort of bandana type of thing that does the same thing. He has a ring that does the same thing. This one is silver fully. No special things in it. But it does look fairly pretty, and there are letters inscribed in it which give off a faint green green glow.
But in
And he
terms of
says
how
that
much,
if you
in
were
terms of
willing
how
to
much they
wait,
actually help, they vary, or no?
Is there any
no,
variance?
these are all the plus ones.
Okay, yeah, but is there any
And then
variance
it's
in
either a ring or a
price
hat.
or anything?
There are little variations in price, more because of the size and the things used in it. The hat is the most, or the bandana is the least pricey. Then comes the hat. The ring is the most pricey.
Probably
I'd
because
say
it's
get
the
the hat.
smallest. What is the price difference? How much is the hat? How much is the ring?
The ring is about 50 gold more than the hat.
How much is the hat?
Let's see how much the head will be.
So those
It's the head thingy is 335.
and the ring is 385. Oh,
You said
No,
35?
the head is 335.
Yeah. The ring is 385.
85.
How appropriate. Mine's 384.
And it basically uses the same charging system. The sun charges it.
Now,
Well,
is
for all
it
these items.
specifically the sun, or can it be light?
The sun.
Aw.
Specifically the sun.
So, like, light from a fire can't do it.
No.
Aw, that sucks. Alright. Well, while you're contemplating that, is there anything that Tyraneus wants? Remembering that you can actually use your items in your animal form, so long as you have some way to basically hold on to them and actually use them. So, I don't exactly see your bear using a ring, or wearing a ring, but...
A funny looking hat.
Yeah, why not, right?
A top hat and a monocle.
Yeah, that's not kind of my kind of bear.
Sir Barrington.
Okay, I'm curious if you're able to enchant any of the equipment that we have, any normal equipment.
And how long would that take?
I sure am able. It depends on the type of equipment and the type of enchanting. Usually, it would... Yeah, with the weaker enchantments, it would take around an hour or so.
Wow.
And what? Okay, I'm looking for, say, okay, here, just a sec. I just gotta check something.
Okay.
I lost my page. I'm just trying to get back to it here.
Yuma?
yeah, I think I'll go ahead and grab the
No,
hat.
throw it in the pile next to my ring.
Mhm.
We'll wait
Okay.
until...
Our shopping cart,
Yeah. We'll putting it in our shopping cart.
save for later.
Okay, I'm curious if okay, I'm wearing studded leather, and I'm wondering if it can be enchanted to behave like, for instance, chainmail.
Studded leather to chainmail. So you want it to keep the properties and the looks of the studded leather?
To behave like studded leather in the way it wears and you can move.
And it
but
doesn't
has
use metal.
No, that's right, but has the defensive abilities that, say, chainmail would have.
Let me see what the differences was between studded leather and chainmail.
It's from 12 to 16.
That's a lot.
Yeah, that's why I'm testing the upper end.
Well, no, it's 12. It's 12 to 14,
12 to 14, that's plus 2.
right?
No, chainmail 16.
Oh, you're going all the way up to
Studded leather.
chainmail. What's your dex?
There's no bonus.
You see 0. Okay.
He thinks, he looks at it, he says, it is possible, but it does have a drawback.
And what would the drawback be?
That depends entirely on the whims of magic.
I don't like this. I don't like this magic system at all.
Okay. How about for something, say, how about splint?
And that's the
That's
difference.
even
plus
higher.
2.
No, that's lower, is it?
Oh.
Sorry, I dropped the program crashed. I'm trying to...
No,
look
ring
back at
mail
that
is
again.
one lower than that. For 14, so it's a plus 2. I mean, you might as
Yeah,
well
that's
just...
right. It would be it would go up from 12 to 14.
Mhm.
If you do it with charger, it is possible. Without a major backlash. If you do it with charges, it would be less expensive.
And how
Buy
many
it.
charges? Oh, but you wouldn't know how many charges until it's created.
Uh-huh.
And would they be
And-
rechargeable?
The type of recharging, yeah. If it's rechargeable, it'll be more expensive than non-rechargeable. If an item that is lost all of its charges, after an item lost all of its charges, it can just falter, disintegrate, but it can also just stay.
Yeah, that's not helping.
No, it's not. I'm sorry. It's magic.
Well, how much? And how long?
The charges one are high end on. The first charging one is high end on common. The second one is low end rare for the basic charges and the rechargeable charges.
That's gonna be expensive.
Yeah.
Don't forget, we're gonna go hunt a land shark in a while. It'll be a while till we get there, but you can make armor out of that.
True.
Because you can wear medium armor.
Well, how about my shield? Increasing my shield to be stronger and be able to deflect more damage.
Depends how much stronger you wish it to be.
How about a straight up +1 shield? I'm also interested.
+1 or +2. I'm curious as the difference.
The difference, the +1 would cost you around without a charge, right?
Yeah, just no charge, just a permanent.
Yeah.
Low end rare, high end uncommon.
Sorry, that doesn't mean anything.
So
I mean, gold
500 to 1,000.
500 plus, yeah, 500 to around 1,000.
I'm
For the +2, the +1 would be 3 to 4.
And is there a negative on both ones?
Not on +2.
Oh,
But on
no
+1?
negative.
On +2 there is no real negative,
But what about +1?
apart from the price.
+1's the same?
Yeah, there's no
Okay.
negative but the price. I mean,
And how much would a +1 be?
a +1 low end uncommon, say 250.
That's really tempting, because we've got a lot of ways before... For me, because my shield's a big part of my character, so that's really... How long would it take?
30 minutes to an hour per shield.
Okay, how about also, I've got my scimitar. How much to increase it from, say, either a +1 or +2? Permanent.
You mean to make it either sharper or faster, something
Will it
like
be a
that?
magical
Yeah,
+1
kind
weapon?
of yeah, that's what I mean. Like, kind of a combination, I guess, of both.
Low and rare. If you make a +1 is high end common, +2 is low to mid range rare.
So if I was to get a +2 shield and a +2 scimitar,
That would
bonus.
net you around 5k ish, depending.
Remember that you don't have that
To-
much.
Okay, no, but that you've just jumped that way higher than you said originally. You said it was about 500
like
gold.
100.
No, those
for
are the
+2
+1s.
and 1,000 for +2 and around the same price. So it's more like 3k, something around those lines.
3k. We only have
Oh,
about a
okay.
k each. Alright, well, I'm tempted with the shield, but I want to make a shield out of the skull of a land shark. So I don't want to spend my money on my shield. So I'm gonna go with the ring, and I guess Yuma's gonna go with the hat. So, anything else you want to look at, Tyraneus?
No, I'm afraid that's me. Thanks.
Okay.
Okay. So that's one ring for 384 and one hat with a nice feather for 334.
Alright, so I hand him,
They have-
39 gold.
334.
Each of them has 7 charges They use 2 charges on each use. You can use them whenever there is a failsafe to be made. It recharges 1 point every 10 to 15 minutes in the sun, depending. And both of them gave the bonus +1 AC on the head with the feather against ranged. That it includes most basic ranged weapons. So
Okay. And that one's also, is that one permanent too? That one's, or is that one that's recharged?
That's the recharging
so 7
one.
uses.
So no, it has 7 charges.
7 charges uses 2 per use and recharges 1 charge every 15 minutes in the sunlight.
Correct.
Okay.
And the ring, well, basically the same riddle.
Yeah.
But then for the +1 dex.
Okay. I have taken care of the cost on my sheet. And it's the dex save 7. Because I can save for dex saves and take no damage using my reaction, so I kind of want to boost that up a little bit if I can. You know, and if I could almost do that with my shield, but I don't want to spend any money on my shield because then I'm gonna get a new shield later. So, and I want that shield to be really awesome and like really heavy and bulky. All right.
The other item was the mace. I'm just listing all the items you have.
Right, the morning star of warning.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and we also, since we're here, we need to figure out if we ask him if we knows how to get the command word for a magic item.
The command word for a magic item?
Mm-hmm.
Sure, you ask the creator, usually.
And if we don't know who the creator is...
then it's slightly more difficult.
Doesn't Identify tell you who the creator was?
No, no, it doesn't. It's supposed to... When you attune with it, it's supposed to do that, but Wrath's like, no. So have we looked through this cape like very, very detailed so that we've looked to see if there's any words like stitched in or something like that?
You have looked at the cape. The man says, usually it helps to know what creature made the cape. And that can be if you go. He asked, "Do you have a specific item?"
Yeah, I probably should show up, Yuma. We know what it is. Yuma.
You show him the cloak. He looks at it and he says, "This seems elven made." I'd suggest. You know what it can do?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And try to find words that combine with what it should be able to do in the language of the creature that made it.
Oh, that's easy because they're all elves.
Yeah, that usually fixes everything.
Okay.
Most things.
So,
some people are annoying, but that usually is the most easy thing.
Okay. So we'll step out because we don't want to damage any items in here when the wings open. So, after we get out of the store, I guess Yuma will just start saying elvish words that relate to the item. Might as well try, right?
Name a couple, I guess. Just do it in English.
Fly, activate,
Yeah,
wings,
cape, flying, cloak.
Sec. Where the hell did I put it? I put it somewhere in my entire freaking line of text. But oh wait, it's in there. Of course, it's in there.
Of course.
Yeah, because where would it be else? Change retribution. Oh, it was here. Open it up, you word. There it is. Yeah, name a couple. You haven't found it yet.
Flying, pouch, glide,
Wings.
Activate.
air,
Activate.
go,
Bat wings.
Glide.
Oh.
soar.
Feather.
Mm-hmm. Nope. None of those.
Wind.
Cape.
No.
Wind. Yeah.
Give me a d20 just
Should
to
we
see
all?
how many words you talk and how long it takes.
All of us?
No, one of you speaking for the group.
Would there be any kind of roll attributed to this, like Arcana?
No, it's just basic guessing work.
Okay.
And there's sadly no luck. You stand there for a couple of minutes, speaking words in Elvish, until one of you comes at the word Menel, which means Kai in Elvish. And when you speak Menel, the cloak itself, it just turns into wings, stretching
Okay.
out to both sides.
And there we go. We found the word. So write down Manel, so that he'll, because you know Wrath will call you on it.
Yep.
Yeah.
How do you spell that? Menel?
Menel. Yeah, how you say it mostly.
And it means what in English?
Kai.
Kai.
Sky.
Sky? Okay.
All right. What time is it in the world right now?
When did you leave for shopping? I think you left like
Midday.
around half, yeah, midday. So your shopping took you about like 1 hour, give or take. So it's going towards the evening.
Okay.